Nice choices there, Victor Lucas.
Thank you.
But you know, it's not just tech and gadgets and games that are keeping us entertained and comics. It's also nice to curl up with someone you love under the starry night sky and watch a flick.
That's right. Nothing better than camping with some movies that you really dig. Scott Jones, what are you going to bring when we go
Nick,
camping?
If you are willing to curl up with me back at the Marriott, we can watch The Edge starring Alec Baldwin. This is from
movie about the outdoors.
the movie about the outdoors, which is the only bit of outdoors that I'm really okay with. It stars a huge bear.
Yeah.
He's beautiful, but he's very dangerous. A very young Elle McPherson is in this movie.
Right.
She's quite fetching. This whole thing was directed by David Mamet. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Yeah.
It's a terrific movie. You can find it almost anywhere. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
The next movie I'd like to recommend to you if you're going camping is High Fidelity. It stars John Cusack and his sister Joan. Jack Black is in there, yes.
A lot of fourth wall breaking.
Well, I know, save it for your own movies. I'm going to talk about this one movie. It's about a guy who loves records, and he owns a record shop. He's kind of become a loser. This is a story I could relate to, you know what I mean? And the last movie I'd like to talk about is one that I've been holding my breath, waiting to talk about on the show. It's called Grandma's Boy. This is from Happy Madison. This is Adam Sandler's company. This is about a guy who's in his middle age, and he goes to live with 3 older ladies, and he makes video games for a living. You know, if you thought Pixels was interesting, you've got to see this movie. This is one of the best, maybe the best video game movie ever made. And there's also some great laughs, and there's a monkey who drives a car.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best movie ever, but it did.
It's very good.
It did handle the video game stuff pretty well, didn't it?
Have you seen it?
I have seen it, yeah.
Did we see it together?
I don't know.
Well, we could.
Under a starry night sky?
Yeah, at the Marriott.
Maybe.
I'll see you there.
All right. Marissa, what movies would you bring camping with
Well,
you?
gentlemen, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm having an SOR, and if you don't know what that is,
What's happening?
it's a summer of red.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
it started out with Ant-Man, of course. We went to the theaters for that. But since I'm
And you
continuing my summer
bootlegged an early copy? Is that what?
with red, no, not at all. I did not do that. I would never
do that.
I'm actually thinking back on my childhood and my high school days, and the first time I fell in love with Paul Rudd, and that was in a movie called Clueless. It taught me so much about what it's like to be a teenager in Beverly Hills, and how to just be kind to other people, even though maybe you don't have it all together yourself, and maybe Paul Rudd could be the man of your dreams one day. And guess what? He is.
You know what? That movie was really good.
That movie is good.
And he was really good in that movie.
He was very good in that movie.
I will give you that one, yes.
Thank you very much.
Let's
a little
continue on
Alicia
your SOR.
Silverstone, a little Stacey Dash.
Yep.
It's one of my favorites, all-time favorites. Now let's move it right along to Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay.
Paul Rudd is amazing in this one as well. Also a younger Paul Rudd, 15 years younger.
Right.
Still into it. This one is just all about summer camp and just the fun things that happen there, a lot of mishaps as well. It doesn't really make much sense when you watch it. It's a little crazy.
Yeah.
It's one of those...
Appropriate for the woods.
A little, yeah, it's very
At the Marriott,
appropriate
it makes sense.
for the woods. And if you're at the Marriott, it makes sense. I just had a great time with this movie, and I love that it's popular again.
What? What? Nothing. What?
Nothing.
Well, listen, you two perverts.
All right,
we
what's
need
up?
to move on to Victor Lucas.
Yeah.
What are your choices if you want to be at the Marriott underneath a very warm comforter and have a massage at 7:15 in the morning?
The assignment was 3 movies you would go camping with. I picked a couple that are outdoors, not unlike The Edge. The first one is The Gray. This was the Liam Neeson movie.
Oh.
A very, very hardcore movie.
Wolves are dangerous.
Wolves are dangerous.
Very cold.
He gets into a wolf fight with bottles and stuff in his hands, and Frank Grillo's in there, who is now Crossbones in the Marvel movies. Lots of great actors, lots of great sequences, and it's a much more thoughtful, pensive film than you think it is going to be. I love that movie. Kingsman, which is another collaboration between Mark Millar and Matthew Vaughn. They brought us Kick-Ass. This is a comic book turned super spy movie with a lot of edge, a lot of grit, a lot of violence. The craziest fight scene in a church you've ever seen with Colin Firth, who is fantastic in this thing.
So insane.
It's so insane. You can't believe your eyes when you're watching it. I love that movie, and I also really dug, and I know this is a bit cheesy and schmaltzy, but The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, starring Ben Stiller, which really has a great message about living an adventure in your life and not being afraid of your own potential.
Yeah.
And I like the cameos. Kristen Wiig is great, and Sean Penn was so badass in that movie, too. So those are my choices.
Great choices, Vic. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
No, we've got a lot more show for you. In fact, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of our favorite TV shows to bring out camping with you. EP's movie coverage is brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Splatoon for the Wii U.